My family scared them away. I just wish there was some way I can make them understand how embarrassing they are.
Welcome back to Diane. Erica, it's time for Mario's little confession.
Erica, you know I love you, but I gotta come clean. I'm not really a man. I'm a woman.
Oh my God, you're a woman?
Well, actually, I'm not really a woman. I'm a horse.
Oh my God, you're a horse?
Actually, I'm not really a horse. I'm a broom.
Okay. So, how do you feel?
To be honest with you, Diane, I'm surprised.
So you're actually utilising their own words. Well, as a coach, we know as a listening technique, we acknowledge, we use the coachee's own words, for instance, that has a much greater impact. Well, why not use them on the screen as well? I just don't think people understand or realise the capability of online and coaching. And we do this now as part of the course. I went into Resilient Pilot to upskill them for online and also to accredit them in coaching and mentoring. And that's exactly what we're doing. And the outputs that we're now having is incredible.
So let me ask you this. Before COVID and also before speaking to you just now, I've attended some webinars where it's just a PowerPoint slide and there's no interaction. So what is it that's given you this ability to go beyond?
I have been an online facilitator for 10 years.
Wow.
And one of the things, and I've accredited people, I've assessed people, I've certified people, I've also got my own CPD accredited programs which accredit people to be an online facilitator and an online designer, to tap into that creativity, even if you're not a massively creative person. And a lot of people do not know what they don't know. So you'll ask for feedback within an organisation for how was this online course today? The delegates haven't got a clue what a good online course looks like. And they go, yeah, it was great, fantastic. It was great because they managed to get on with their emails and because they managed to maybe to even take a phone call. That's what made it great to them. The learning necessarily wasn't there, or the outcome, or that thought process, if we're talking coaching again, that kind of reflection time. You can still use all of the great coaching techniques that we have. People don't understand or realise exactly how powerful this space can be. They don't know what they don't know.
I find that very interesting. So I'll come straight out with it. Did you get identified with a learning disability when you were younger? Have you got a divergent brain?
Me? Not as far as I'm aware.
You see in pictures, though. You're a visual thinker.
I can see, yes, absolutely. I'm quite a visual thinker, yes.
Because as you described that extra interaction, that's exactly what you need to do. So to what extent, because I've been doing this for 10 years and actually it's been disputed by a book I'm reading at the moment, but the 10-year or 10,000 hour rule, do you think that's the reason that you're so good now?
I think that plays a part. I think over those 10 years you learn a lot. You learn a lot of what not to do as well, how not to engage, and when a session you feel yourself maybe hasn't been quite so successful. But I saw an opportunity last March to bang the drum finally, to bring online into the space where actually it's highly effective and highly impactful. Because I still had organisations saying, oh, it'll never work online. That what you're talking about? No idea. You know, we're all right doing face-to-face. And of course, last March, everybody was in absolute panic mode because now all of a sudden they had that push in the back that they needed to actually move into the space. Doesn't mean to say that they're doing it well.
No.
Not at all, because a lot of them still aren't, if we're being really honest.
So people complain about things, and a year later they'll still be complaining about things, and only people like me, you, Victoria and Mark and others that I've met as a result of being online are the actual movers.
Well, you see, I work with the science of the mind as well, and we've all got neural pathways in our mind, and this comes right back from childhood and what you've heard and what you've seen, and you know that pathway of keep doing the same thing over and over again has already been installed. a long time ago, and you can break that through having adversity in your life or through working on yourself and going through a process to learn to change those pathways. But it takes something to do that. So there are some people that when they say they can't, they could if they worked on themselves, but they actually can't while they're still sitting in that same space and doing the same thing over and over again, because one of the rules of the mind is the mind likes what's familiar. So your mind will keep you with what's familiar no matter what, unless you do some work to change that. And you can change that. Everybody can change that. There's no such thing as you can't, you can. So yeah, that's where I would come from. On
Your empathy oozes. You ooze empathy, Gabrielle.
Ooze. Excellent, excellent.
You ooze empathy.
It does. And I just anyone that watches this has got to work with this lady. I swear to God.
She's lovely.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
very much so.
Is there such thing as fear of success?
Yes.
You mentioned fear of failure, but fear of success. Have you come across that before?
Absolutely. You fear of anything different, anything you come across that's different. It could be you're drinking tea instead of coffee. It doesn't matter. Anything that's different in your life, you're going to have fear. And if you've broke that fear before, so for instance, when Victoria's talking, when you're talking, if you broke that fear before, you've already created that habit in that neuro pathway, so you know you can do it. So you've got to get into the habit of doing it. It's like going to the gym. So you go to the gym, you're using those muscles. So if you're using that muscle regularly, somebody asks you to stand on stage, you think, okay, yeah, that's easy because you've done it. But anybody that's never ever broke any fears, that's just sat in their comfort zone, this is why COVID's been such an impact, because we've been told to stay home safe. Everyone's been in this comfort zone, they've been cocooned, they've been told it's the safest place to be. And now suddenly everybody's been told, no, it's okay, you can go out now. Well, everyone wants to be in their comfort zone. It's natural, it's normal, it's what. So when you're in your comfort zone, you want to stay there, that's safe. And it goes back to, years ago where you need to be safe. And if we go outside right now, it's like facing those tigers and lions, which are not out there, but that's what the body feels like. That's what the brain feels like. So it's the same thing.
Well, I can tell you for a fact, Victoria doesn't suffer from fear of success.
I used to though. No, but I used to.
Did you?
Yes, at school I didn't bother. I was so, if the teacher says something good to me, that I was like, are you talking about the same person? The confidence levels were not there at school. Somewhere in my life, I have broken that thing and just gone for it. And now
you certainly have, and you're a role model.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
You really are. Really admire you. A single mum to 3 kids.
5.
And
5, yeah.
Oh, 5 kids. Bloody hell. Incredible. You're amazing.
Basically, once you get above 2, you can't hold them apart anymore. So you have to I don't know how you'd separate them, but yeah, it must be like herding cats. So,
quick question for you, Jonathan, if I may. Do you know Dr. Nancy Doyle?
No.
You do now. She's one of the UK's leading authorities on neurodivergence.
Okay.